Hello, this is the Provoked Prawn, here to show you how to do stealth on the mansion mission for the one-armed robber game. Now, I recommend doing this with a friend. It makes life a little bit easier. You'll see when you go in this initial guard hut that you can open the window and go in through there, and then you can turn the alarm off. The other way to do that is to wait for the guard to come in this hut and face the other way, shoot him in the back of the head, take his phone, bleep it on the little sensor on the side of the room, then turn the alarm off. That will then mean that you can break windows without worry. Next, we want to go into this area here in the gym and the outside of this area and up the stairs. So you go into this spot here, and then you'll see there's a camera at the top of the stairs. Be careful because it does turn. So when it's not facing the stairs, obviously you can run out. When it is facing the stairs, then you run across here and jump on this cable and then run across to the next area. You can then climb up on the roof from here. There are various different ways to do this, but we found this is the best way. Drop down from the roof to these windows, and then you can open them to get inside the building. What you've got to watch out for here is there's a camera inside here in this room, and when you shoot it out, you'll find a guard then comes around the corner. You need to get him down, grab his phone, get into that little room, scan his phone on this scanner here, and then that'll stop it from setting off another alarm. At this stage, I then try to drag the body into the office just in case anyone else patrols around, but it's unlikely to happen. You'll also find that there's two key cards now, one on the guard and one on the desk. So that's why it's handy to have two people for this, although obviously you can do it yourself. It's a bit easier with two people. Now, if you go back out of the window of this room, you can then drop down the staircase here. So you can drop down from here, straight down the middle, and that avoids seeing any other guards because there are other guards in the area. The other thing you want to watch out for is the security cameras because there are more of them. There's one on the staircase, there's one also around the corner from the office we were just in, and taking out those cameras can lead to guards getting attracted, so you don't want to shoot them if you can help it. If we drop down to the bottom floor, you'll see that did injure us a little bit, so watch out for that. Then you scan the card on this reader here. So one of the cards that was grabbed from there will allow you to access this room. Now this is another security room, and in here there's another guard. I panicked a little bit because I couldn't see the scanner, but if you look behind him you'll see there's another thing to scan his phone with, so you can bleep that and stop it from setting off the alarm. You'll also notice once you're in the security room that the cameras then get turned off, so you can see that the cameras that were displaying on the monitors are now off, which means you can now go past security cameras in the building without any worries. If we then head back up to the top floor, as you'll see in a second, you'll need something else from up there. But further down, you'll notice that there is another door on this level, and that's important because we're also going to need the key card for that. So watch out for where you dropped the various key cards, because one of them will scan onto that door. So you can see that one's a security guard room, but then there's the other key card that accesses this area here. At this point, you need to scan a handprint, and unfortunately the guard won't work for that. You need a specific person, so you'll need to go back upstairs in order to get the right person for this. So I initially thought that maybe you could do it with a guard, but you can't. So what you want to do here is basically sneak your way back up. Now don't forget the security cameras are disabled at this stage, so you don't need to worry about those, but you do need to watch out for other guards that might be knocking around, because every time you kill a guard you have to scan his phone on one of those sensors, and there's a limited number of those sensors around every map, which means it can actually be very difficult to complete the levels in stealth if you're not careful and you've killed too many guards. So what we've got to do here is go out onto the party area on the roof, and then you'll find there's a lot of civilians up there. If you go up to a civilian, you can cable tie their hands to stop them from running away. Take care not to shoot them, as you're about to see me do by accident. But if we go out onto this area, obviously the people will get a bit freaked out because they're seeing guys in masks with guns. What we want is that guy in the sort of gold-orange suit. But you'll see some of them try and run off. If you click, you can tie them up. It's better to do that with nothing in your hands so you don't accidentally shoot them, as I just did. Now what we need to do is get this guy with the party hat on downstairs to that scanner so we can scan him and then use him to then disable the lasers so we can get into the area we need to. Unfortunately, we found the easiest way to do this was to kill him, and then we need his handprint downstairs. So drag his body all the way downstairs and take it with you down there into the bottom floor. My friend's doing that at the moment. I was just hunting around for other things. You will find on some of these maps there are other items of interest, piles of money and other bits that you can take with you that will give you a little bit of extra cash for the bonuses when you're leaving, so it's worth looking around for them. But if you drag the guy with the party hat to the scanner where the lasers are over in this room, that will then be disabled. From there you can then press a button to raise the car up onto the level above. And what you want to do then is obviously go back up to the top, to the outside, and get the hook from the tow truck out the front in order to attach to that car and pull it out. But what we need to do first is to open the garage door. Now, we initially bypassed the first guard, so he's still alive, which might have been a mistake, because the easier way to do it, perhaps, is to actually kill him when you first come in and scan him. Because if he detects us now, obviously that'll ruin the whole thing. We've been very stealthy. So what you can do instead is you can take the guard out, grab his phone, scan it behind the door, and you can do this when you first come into the map, as soon as he's basically in that room. And that's where you disable the alarm as well, so that no glass breaking causes a problem. From here, we then need to get into this garage area, so you can just break the glass because you've already turned the alarm off and there's no guards around to notice it, so you just smash that. And then in there you can just press this green button to open the garage door, and then you can get the hook from the tow truck and put it on the car. We've got another friend that's doing that. That was his job, just to drag the car on. And then once the car's on the tow truck, you can then complete the mission, and you've done it fully in stealth. Hopefully you've seen a few tips on how to do the other missions and stuff with this. Essentially, you need to make sure you scan the guard's phone on those readers as soon as you can. Watch out for the various cards that you find around the map. Be careful when shooting out cameras, because nearby guards will get alerted, and disable any alarms so that broken glass doesn't alert the enemy and set off the alarm in the process. This has been the Provoked Prawn. Thanks for watching.